Hey everybody, so how we doing today? Alright, I am back to tell you that Trump has announced sanctions targeting Iran. Supreme Leader in response is currently responding to the shooting down of a drone. U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order imposing new strong sanctions against Iran in response to Tehran's downing of an American drone last week. So he won't go to war, but he'll sanction them over it. But would that be right of him if it did turn out that the drone was over to Iran and not over international waters? Would that sanction then be legal? Is it legal anyway? Well, who knows? Trump said the latest sanctions would target Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Trump told reporters at the White House on Monday that Khamenei and his associates would be denied access to financial resources by the new sanctions. The sanctions, Trump said, represent a strong and proportionate response to Iran's increasingly provocative actions. Again, citation needed. The U.S. will continue to increase pressure on Tehran. He added, saying that the fresh sanctions would have been imposed regardless of the incident with the downed drone. Yeah, they keep claiming of Iran's provocative behavior, but we haven't seen any clear evidence of truly provocative behavior yet. Like I said, citation needed. Yeah, you're going to deny a nation's leaders access to financial resources. You think they'll give in to the pressure, but what if they won't? What if they decide that you're just a bully, and how you deal with bullies is to fight back? Oh, but that thought obviously never occurred to Trump. No, they're just going to cave in, right? Maybe because Trump is a bully, to some extent. The new sanctions come a day after the U.S. claimed it launched massive and successful cyber strikes against Iranian military computer systems, although Tehran claimed Washington's efforts failed. Well, which is true? Did we succeed or didn't we? Trump said on Friday that he had called off a military strike on Iran which would have killed 150 people, saying that he does not want war but promising obliteration like you've never seen before. Oh, sorry. Obliteration like you've never seen before. So much obliteration. Absolute total annihilation. They don't exist anymore. If the U.S. does decide to attack Iran, earlier this month the U.S. accused Tehran of being behind attacks on 2 oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman. But even U.S. allies Germany and Japan have cast doubt on shaky evidence presented by the Pentagon. U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin said Trump's executive order will lock up billions of dollars more in Iranian assets. Mnuchin also promised the Iranian Foreign Secretary Javad Zarif will be hit with sanctions later in the week, adding that the U.S. has not consulted with its allies on the specifics of the planned measures. Meanwhile, Iran has said it is prepared to shoot down American drones again and again if they violate its airspace. The U.S. has claimed that the surveillance drone was shot down in international airspace, while Iran claims it was destroyed over its own territory. Well, if Iran's right, then they were in the right to shoot it down. If America is right, then they were not in the right to shoot it down. Obvious. However, things are so rarely black and white. For example, Trump wanting to impose sanctions over this to pressure Iran into capitulating to American demands. That's basically coercion. Coercion is an element of bullying. Trump is being a bully. And when you are being pressured by a bully, what are the 2 most likely responses you're going to have? You are either going to capitulate or you're going to fight back. You fight back if you are in a position of strength. You capitulate if you are not. Iran is not weak. Sure, we're bigger, we're stronger, but Iran can fight back. And we cannot afford to go to war with them right now. Our economy is in the toilet as far as war is concerned. So, they can in fact fight back, and they could use a war of attrition to put us further into debt. And for Iran, that would be a huge victory. So what if they fight back, Mr. President? What if they decide that you're a bully and they will not be pressured by you and to fight back? Can we really afford that to be a thing? No, I don't think we can. And for that matter, let's say they capitulate. So what? What do we get out of it? A country that behaves itself based on our standard? Isn't that a little self-righteous? That's not even our place to decide, I think. Again, I will cite my favorite Greek philosopher Aristotle, who said, "Too little virtue and you become a moral coward. Too much virtue and you try and force everyone else to be moral as according to your standard." Right now, that's what the U.S. is. We are virtuous. Too virtuous. And as such, we are forcing ourselves on others, which is not okay. Sanctioning uses the same psychological mechanisms as the Chinese social credit system. We are making Pavlov's dogs. Or at least we're trying to and failing. As for the hacking of the Iranian security systems, Iran says we failed, and we say we actually succeeded. Perhaps there's a misunderstanding of our goals in that case. I'll have to do another video on that sometime, but really that's all I have to say about this right now, as Trump is basically being a bully. And in which case, they will go to war, and if we go to war with Iran, Iran could simply go for a war of attrition. And they could easily win that, because our infrastructure is crumbling, and we spent too much money on a fucking military, and we'll run out of money before long. Or if we don't, and they capitulate, we've basically committed a moral crime. Anyway,